treasure we found in the deep roads made us a fortune. The champion moved up in the world, literally. Bought a mansion in Hightown. Everyone knew who he was now. Even the Viscount was taking notice. Bethany was in the circle now. There was nothing we could do for her. Poor girl. 3 years later, the Qunari still haven't left. The Qunari insisted they were waiting for their ship. But some of us knew better.
The compound was not meant to be permanent. There are concerns the Qunari influence is no longer contained.
Was it ever? Kirkwall has tension enough between Templar and Mage. But these Qunari, they sit like gargoyles waiting for Maker knows what, and everyone goes mad around them. Nearly 4 years I've stood between fanatics. And now, this.
Don't keep us in suspense.
Leave us. Meredith at my throat, Orsino at my heels, and a city scared of heretical giants. Balance has held because the Qunari ask for nothing. Even the space in Lowtown was a gift to contain them. But now, the Arishok has requested you. By name. What did you do?
I got his attention a couple of times. I guess I impressed him, but that was years ago.
It makes no sense. And it doesn't matter. I just need them quiet. I remember how you helped my son. It seems you are meant to have influence above your station. Speak to the Arishok. Give him what he needs to keep the peace. Can you do that for Kirkwall, Sirrah Hawk?
Have the years been kind to Seamus?
He is his own man. But your actions tempered him somewhat. He's not so angry at the world. I thank you for that. I may not agree with him on many things, but I am proud of what he is becoming.
I've seen hate for them, but I haven't heard anything major in years.
Zealots are bravest where their lies can't be argued, behind closed doors. Chantry leaders see Qunari beliefs as a challenge, not an attack. But the message gets muddled among casual adherents. I'm certainly not equipped to argue the fine points of faith.
Sounds like you'd be better off without this headache.
They will not leave, and we don't have the resources to force the issue. At least, not in a way that would leave the city intact. If they had come to conquer, I suspect they would have done so.
The Qunari usually arrive as conquerors. Odd that this has gone on so long.
Very, and I have no interest in antagonizing them. That is partially why I suffer being a messenger today. A treaty exists, and it has been honored. Although,
You have doubts?
they claim they're waiting for a second ship. But it has been 3 years. They want something else.
Any idea what I can expect?
None. Honestly, I don't think I've heard 2 direct words from the Arishok. Other than his rather deliberate phrasing of begone. If you think his asking me to notify you of this is strange, well, you would be right.
I am always willing to assist.
Well, that is an attitude this city has lacked for a long time. Appease the Arishok. Take his demand and let him return to dormancy. As awkward as this has been, it is better than the alternative. Stepping down is looking more and more appealing. I leave the satisfaction of the Arishok's demands in your hands, Sir Hawk.
Set.
Well, you have certainly risen through the rank. Good for you.
Seamus, wasn't it? The Viscount's boy.
You're here rather often, Sir Hawk. A good influence, I think. Even by not taking sides, you helped start something. I still accept no blame for defending Kunari. And I don't miss the kinship of the people who oppose what I believe.
The Arishok asked for me. I think they're a headache, but so are many people.
And you've already treated them with more grace than most. Mere existence should not be an offense, no matter how they challenge the Chantry. Not when some of their ideas are so compelling. Another time, when things are better.
That corner looks dusty. How embarrassing.
Hope the day is treating you well, Sirrah.
Done.
Hope the day is treating you well, Sirrah.
We'll need to give them answers by tomorrow, Captain.
I'll have them. Dismissed.
The Seneschal was particularly vocal.
Dismissed. You'd think the Captain of the Guard could requisition a Templar or two, but no, that would be demeaning. Can't have them working for the people when Eternity needs a nanny.
You had to know cleaning up this mess would be difficult.
It's not the challenge, it's the unending part. And really, I blame you. You poured money into a pot that was already full. Everything has shifted. Good job validating the fears of every anti-Ferelden and Kirkwall.
I didn't realize I was making it worse by getting ahead.
I'm just harassing you. Although you are a bit like the center of a hurricane. You've changed fortunes for many people, not always for the better.
Sounds like you're spreading yourself pretty thin.
There are a lot of them in my charge. Someone has to look out for them.
You guard the guardsmen?
I don't turn people loose like Jevon. There's additional training, doubled patrols. Costs are up, but I've halved injuries. I'll take it and argue with Seneschal Bran later.
After the last captain, you couldn't have expected this to be easy.
At least I had the guards on my side. Once they understood, they rallied. And those who didn't weren't fit to hold the crest. Stack friends against the enemies. I don't know if I came out ahead, but it's for the better.
Grouse all you want, but the Aveline I know doesn't regret a second as captain.
They'd have to drag me out of here. And I'm sure some are lining up to try. You among them, I bet. Haven't had much time to follow you around. Not that I need to. I can trust that you at least try to do right. I'm with you if you need me, Hawk. Just say the word. Nothing going on, Hawk. You'd be the first to know if there was.
Hope the day's treating you well, Sirrah.
Good luck getting in. I've been waiting all day.
Oh, there you are. I've been looking everywhere for you, Messiah. If only you humans didn't all look the same.
I was called to the keep on important business, Bodan.
Yes, I was hoping to catch you before you arrived. There's a gentleman waiting at the mansion. He insists on seeing you. He says his name is Dougal. Your mother thought it wise I tell you, Messiah.
I paid Dougal years ago. Why would he be back now?
He wouldn't tell me, I'm afraid. He refused to come back another day, even after I told him repeatedly that I didn't know when you would return. He doesn't really seem like the most reputable sort, I'm afraid, even for a dwarf.
You left him alone in the mansion with Mother?
My boy Sandal is with her. But, you make a good point. I'll run back right away. Before I go, may I simply say how grateful I am that you've allowed my boy to stay in your home. I said I would repay you for saving Sandal's life, and I shall serve you faithfully. It is good to know he is safe.
I didn't ask you to be my manservant, Bodan.
But I owe you a debt, and after what happened in the Deep Roads, I have no other way to repay you. I'll leave you to your business. Don't forget about your guest. Your mother claims he was eyeing the silverware.
Not much to see here. You've settled in nicely.
It's been hard work to get here.
Indeed. Still, more coin never hurts, right? Say, if someone wanted to pass some work your way...
I'm listening, Aveline. What's the trouble?
A thorn in my side, inventing trouble and scaring people. Remember Emmerich, the Templar? He wants your help, and some sort of official sanction.
Official sanction?
For his investigation. He's convinced that every random murder in the past few years is connected, and he won't be quiet.
You don't think it's worth investigating?
I have. He even convinced one of my lieutenants to raid the Dupuis mansion. Nothing there. You wouldn't believe how much ass I had to kiss after that. Bloody hobbyist constable. Why can't he spend his declining years building a boat or something?
Seems like it should be easy to prove if there are bodies.
Kirkwall isn't the safest place. That doesn't mean everything terrible is related. There's no sense to that. Can't be.
I seem to recall he had some good leads.
Then you won't mind chasing his threads. If it leads somewhere, I'll pick it up. Right now, he's just distracting my men. He's in the gallows. Do what you can. Thanks, Hawk. I'll try not to make a habit of this.
Why, hello again. Lovely home you have here. And may I say your mother makes for delightful company?
He hasn't been bothering you, has he?
I'll be less bothered when he leaves.
My apologies, Sarah. Your son and I simply have a bit of business to conclude.
I'll leave you two alone then. Be careful.
Darling woman. A shame that she spends so much time here alone.
Just what are you saying?
Allow me to get right to the point. I know all this came from Deep Road's treasure. I know you repaid me, but I think I deserve a larger share of your fortune. Fair's fair, right?
We took all the risks, and I paid you back.
You did, but look around you. You've prospered nicely. Is it fair that I only doubled my money while you got all of this? I don't think so. Give me another, 100 sovereigns, and I'll go away. If you don't, I'll make things unpleasant. Simple enough, no?
What do you mean by that?
Well, let's see. I think people would like to know just what happened to Bartrand, wouldn't they? I know he betrayed you, but nobody else does. Your partner disappears, and you end up rich.
There hasn't been a single question asked about that.
Yet. Questions could be asked. About you, about your red-headed friend in the city guard, about your sudden riches. Help me out, and my friends in the Carta will make sure the evidence I have never sees the light of day.
There's no evidence. There couldn't be.
Does it have to be real? I think it just has to raise enough questions. How much do you want your new friend, the Viscount, to know about your past? Not much, I'll wager.
And what's going to keep you from coming back for more?
Have it your way, Hawk. We'll be seeing each other again, I'm sure.
Fenris said Daenerys left this at the mansion. Its eyes follow me around the room. Creepy. Hard in Hightown. Siege harder. What does that even mean? Varric must be stopped. Is that Isabella? Who carves that into a stairwell? Handprints? Was someone swinging on the chandelier? Sando. That's Mother's room. I shouldn't intrude. Never thought I'd have my own family crest. Nice view. I see the Arenbergs have made up. crude drawings in the margins. Isabella, grow up. I could have left the amulet in there and forgotten all about it. What would the witch have done then? Poor Prince. I told him to stay off the bed.
I like the doggy. Ruff, ruff, ruff. Ruff, 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 ruff.
It looks like they're having a nice chat. Maybe Sandal picked up some Mabari speak from our time at the hero of Ferelden's camp.
It's strange living here again. My childhood home. Now owned by my child. I do hope you've been upfront with me about really owning it. I don't want to be at the mercy of that wretched Dougal. It's nice to be here, though. To feel like an Amel again.
I'm going to make the name Hawke one to be proud of in this city.
I don't doubt it. Your father would have said that, with that exact look, too. I just wish we could all be together as a family one more time. I visited Bethany at the Circle. She seems happy enough. I guess I just need to start finding you a suitable wife. I've been wondering if I shouldn't remarry. I'm sure the last thing you need is your mother watching over your shoulder every time you come home. But perhaps there is still life once your children have outgrown you.
You've been through a lot. You deserve any joy you can find.
Thank you, love. No one could ever replace your father. But it is refreshing to think I could still be courted at this age. The Reinhardt's second daughter is very interested in meeting you.
If you need any enchantments, I'm sure my boy would be happy to help.
Enchantment!
Just so.
Ooh, enchantment!
That's a fact, is it? Think about it. Why would it start in Ferelden? A dirty backwater full of dogs and the occasional sheep. It took decades for the other blights to run their courses. This one, less than 2 years, don't you see? It never happened. It was all a Ferelden ploy. Anyone knows Sir Karen? Has he... done anything wrong.
Isabella, you look well.
Are you talking about the flush on my cheeks? It must be the whiskey. Do you remember the relic I told you about? The one I need to find? I've been following a lead. I'm so close I can taste it.
The search for this thing has consumed you. Let it go.
I just thought I'd let you know that I may soon be taking you up on that offer of help.
You can count on me.
Thanks. I appreciate it. If I learn anything new, you'll be the first to hear about it. I once knew a sailor like you. We lost him in a hurricane. Very sad.
Just tell me if you hear more rumblings from the coterie about protection. Blondie's got enough trouble. Let me ask you something, Hawk. You made it into Hightown. I'd expect anyone else to get complacent, but you must have plans.
No plans yet. I'm simply trying to look out for my mother.
After everything that happened with Bethany, that's probably good thinking. To be honest, I thought there might be a chance you'd want to go back to Ferelden now that things have calmed down. It's good to hear you're sticking around.
Kirkwall needs me.
If nothing else, you give this town respectability, my friend. So, we've got a whole city-state full of trouble to get into. Shall we get started? You want a pint while we're here, Hawk? I'll buy.
Well, look who's here.
Dougal.
It turns out we'll need to do this the hard way, Hawk. I'll get the money you owe me if I have to tear your mansion apart brick by brick.
It's not too late, Dougal. It doesn't have to come to a fight.
I considered going after your mother, but I prefer the direct approach. Boys, let's make this quick. I want to be in that mansion within the hour.
you're moving up in the world. Got some coin to share with your favorite uncle? So you're moving up in the world?
Have you heard from your sister? Is she settling in all right with the Circle?
I thought you and Bethany didn't get along. Why are you worrying over her?
I'd be terrified in her shoes. Surrounded by strangers. Watched all the time. We didn't always agree, but she's a sweet girl. I would never wish that fate on anyone.
Our mother checks on her frequently. She seems to be adjusting.
Maybe it's nice for her to finally live without hiding. She's strong. If anyone can get through this, she can. Don't blame yourself.
If I'd gotten home sooner, she might still be free.
Once the Templars knew, nothing you could have done would have saved her. Things will be all right. Somehow. By the Dread Wolf! Why is my house always such a mess when people are here? It's clean sometimes, I swear.
So the Seneschal's tax collector won't be coming around again like you asked. Funny story.
I'll pass, but thank you for the help.
Spoil sport. Why you want to squat up here in Hightown is beyond me.
I like the view.
So do I.
Three years. There's still no sign of Denarius. I'm beginning to wonder if he's finally given up.
This is his mansion, isn't it? He must know you're here.
Would you be surprised to learn that it isn't, in fact, his mansion? It belongs to a Tevinter merchant, one who has evidently given up on the place. Perhaps he is dead. Perhaps Denarius killed him. Either way, if Denarius is aware of my presence, he has done nothing.
Isn't this what you wanted?
Yes, but... Tell me, what do you do when you stop running?
You start over. Isn't that what you want?
I don't know how. My first memory is receiving these markings. The lyrium being branded into my flesh. The agony wiped away everything. Whatever life I had before I became a slave, it's lost. I shouldn't trouble you with this. My problems are not yours.
You don't know who you were?
Fenris was the name Denarius bestowed upon me, his little wolf. If I once had another name or a family, then they were taken from me. But again, this is not your concern.
Your problems are my problems.
Unlucky you. But enough. You have much to keep you busy, I'm certain. We should move on.
go.
Don't come running to me next time you pick up one of these diseases.
Isn't that the point of magic?
I don't want to know.
Things just keep getting worse. I had Templars practically on my doorstep the other night.
The Templars are hunting you?
Not me specifically. They were just checking the refugee camps. But it's not like this place is a secret. It's only a matter of time.
We haven't talked much recently. How have you been?
Good. I just love what Knight Commander Meredith's done with the place. The curfews, the midnight raids on mages' families. Everyone I know forced into hiding so they won't be made tranquil.
Is that making it harder for you, with justice?
In the Fade, there is no time. Emotion rules everything. Justice doesn't know how to sit idle until the right moment to strike. And I can't say I have any greater patience. I fear what my anger has made of my friend.
You chose to merge with him. Only you can make it work.
I am trying. I have not attacked the Templars openly. I've helped the mages here as best I can, but this impasse cannot last. One day, everyone in Kirkwall will have to choose a side. The Templars have become more active in their hunt for me. I won't be able to stay here long.
Kunari don't never get sick. Maybe give him a turn in the queue.
Perhaps if we put some flowers there, and some ribbon there. Donations to the chantry are always welcome, sir.
Forgive me, Your Grace.
Forgiveness for a sin you committed in full knowledge. The Maker blessed us with minds and a conscience. He does not approve when we fail to use them.
I'm sorry.
I'm not the one you wronged.
I thought it would end here. Young Master Hawk destroyed Flint Company. None remain. Yet, now that I know who sent them, it's harder to see their deaths as justice.
Death is never justice.
Hawk? We were just talking about you.
Saying good things, I hope.
Many people in Kirkwall have good things to say about you.
I've learned who hired Flint Company. The Harrimans, a noble family of Kirkwall. They were my parents' allies. It's hard to believe they betrayed us like this.
Tell me about this family.
Lord Harriman used to be a good man, but he became rather strange in his dotage. He died some years back. His daughter took over the family, Lady Johanne Harriman. They say she's become quite reclusive of late.
Any idea why they turned on you?
Money? Power? It's hard to say. Lady Harriman was always jealous of my family for being royalty when hers were mere nobility. But I can't imagine that pushing her into outright murder.
Is there any peaceful way to resolve this?
If you treat the Harrimans like those mercenaries, you could start a war. Go carefully, Sebastian.
I must speak with Lady Harriman and find out what drove her to this madness. But I am the last of my line. I should not go alone and make myself a target.
If I'm standing beside you, that should make her think twice.
Again, your interest in my plight humbles me. If you like, I can travel with you until you confront Lady Harriman. Otherwise, you can always find me here in the Chantry. I wish I could have stayed here forever. I never wanted to rule Starkhaven.
I cannot fault Sebastian for wanting to know why an old ally would turn against his parents. But I fear he's too impetuous. He may do something he regrets. Please, go with him, try to restrain him. If the Harrimans are guilty, they will receive justice from the Viscount. Sebastian need not take their punishment into his own hands.
What is the Chantry's stance on the Qunari presence here?
Would it help anything for us to get involved? Or is it more likely to light the kindling? If the Qunari act against us, the Templars will defend Kirkwall. Otherwise, we guard ourselves best by waiting.
How long have you been Grand Cleric?
I became a lay sister here when I was only a girl. My parents died of fever, and I was taken in by the Chantry. Eventually, I took my vows. After I had served for some time, the revered mothers agreed that I should travel to Orlais. The Divine herself appointed me Grand Cleric of Kirkwall. That was near 30 years ago.
You knew my grandparents?
I dedicated your mother into the Chantry. She was a beautiful baby. Your grandmother was a very proper lady, but she was beside herself that day. And your mother put a fist in my eye.
I'd always welcome your benediction.
Andraste guide your steps in this difficult time.
You've had luck on your travels? No attacks, no disasters, no out-of-control enchantments. It's a good day.
Your hound is a mark of nobility in Ferelden, is he not? I have heard that gaining a Mabari's loyalty is considered the ultimate proof of character there.
That's kind of you to say. I think we make a good pair.
The dog cares nothing for worldly power. The Maker would like to see us learn from them.
Don't let it go to your head. That dog. Well, maybe chew marks add character to the piece.
Welcome.
Did you ever run the wilds, boy? Kirkwall is no city for a breed used to open spaces. Nice as your estate is, it's not healthy for a Mabari to be cooped up. May I take him to the barracks time to time? He could help train my guards.
I'm sure he'll enjoy that. Thanks for the offer.
Good. I think it's time they face down a good old Mabari charge. How about it, boy? Want to chew on some recruits?
here in the mansion. I thought about it. Good to see you again, Miss Anna. If you need me for anything, by all means, let me know.
You take good care of us, don't you? Want some pets? I bet you do. Everything that's left of my life in Lothering